Imagine a territory surrounded by ancient walls where decisions made in silence echo through the ages. A tiny space, almost invisible on world maps, but with an influence capable of shaping governments, overthrowing monarchs, and defining the destinies of countless individuals. Behind the golden domes and Renaissance masterpieces, there's another Vatican, a world of enigmas, secrets, and intrigues, where stories of unsolved disappearances, financial scandals that shook the faith of multitudes, and discreet organizations operating in the shadows compose a scenario worthy of the darkest conspiracy novels. Although it is the smallest country on the planet, the Vatican is, paradoxically, one of the most powerful and influential in human history. Before we start, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our publications. It costs nothing and helps me keep bringing new content to you. Located in the heart of the Italian capital, the Vatican is officially the smallest sovereign state in the world. Its physical space is so limited that it could fit several times within a single large urban park. Still, its importance goes beyond borders, affecting religious and political decisions globally. Surrounded by thick high walls, the Vatican is a true fortress, an island of power embedded within the city of Rome. Its resident population does not exceed a few hundred people, almost entirely made up of clergy members, Holy See officials, and a small number of lay people. Vatican citizenship is not passed down by birth, but is granted only to those who perform specific functions within its institutional structure. The few internal roads connect administrative buildings, museums, and, of course, the imposing St. Peter's Square, the center of the Holy See's religious and political activities. What many don't know is that, besides the historic facades and sacred art, the walls house secrets accumulated over centuries, narratives that reveal hidden, often unsettling, aspects of the institution. The origin of Vatican territory is rooted in a long sequence of political and religious disputes. Christian tradition places the burial site of the Apostle Peter there. During the Roman Empire, Emperor Constantine ordered the construction of a basilica dedicated to Peter, a gesture that marked the beginning of that land's institutional centrality. During the medieval era, the popes began to exercise dominion over vast tracts of land known as the Papal States, assuming temporal power over a large part of the Italian peninsula. This dominion persisted until the century of Italian unification, when the territorial influence of the papacy was drastically reduced. With the incorporation of Rome into the new Italian kingdom, the Pope at the time refused to recognize the new authority and declared himself a voluntary prisoner within the Vatican's limits. For decades, the popes remained in isolation until, through a treaty signed between the Vatican and the Italian government, the status of sovereign state was finally recognized. Since then, the Vatican walls not only define a physical space, but also symbolize the independence, mystery, and complexity of the power residing there. Among the most mysterious episodes in recent Vatican history is the disappearance of a young woman named Emanuela Orlandi. As a teenager, she left home for a class and never returned. The daughter of a Vatican official, she lived within the state's walls. Her disappearance quickly became one of the most enigmatic cases in Italian history, sparking theories ranging from political conspiracies to links with criminal organizations and high-ranking ecclesiastical figures. Some speculation suggested that the case was related to attempts to free individuals accused of crimes against highly important religious figures. Other hypotheses pointed to the involvement of financial networks and criminal entities infiltrated into the structures of ecclesiastical power. Even after decades, the case remains unsolved, and the silence of religious authorities has only contributed to the growth of cover-up theories. This wasn't the only event that raised doubts about the institution's integrity. Internal disputes and ideological rivalries have always been part of the Holy See's routine. The public image of unity often hides behind-the-scenes tensions, betrayals, and power struggles. During Benedict's pontificate, secret documents came to light, revealing an internal environment full of intrigues involving cardinals and members of the Roman Curia. This information was compiled into a work that revealed how the Pope faced strong opposition from both conservative sectors and progressive groups. The pressure was so intense that it resulted in the pontiff's resignation, something that hadn't happened for many centuries. Previously, another dramatic episode shook the Catholic world, the sudden death of a newly elected pope, which occurred just weeks after the start of his pontificate. Theories emerged claiming poisoning, possibly motivated by his plans to reform the Holy See's finances and cut ties with organizations considered suspicious. There were indications that he planned to expose internal corruption practices, which would have angered powerful vested interests. No official confirmation was presented, but the mystery remains one of the darkest pages in papal history. The financial scandals involving the Vatican Bank, officially called the Institute for Works of Religion, also severely damaged the institution's image. Created to manage the Church's financial resources, the bank was implicated in various cases of fund diversion, illicit operations, and fraud. One of the most emblematic episodes occurred with the bankruptcy of a European bank, of which the Vatican was one of the main investors. The president of that institution was found dead under suspicious circumstances, intensifying rumors of murder. Investigations reveal links between the bank, a secret society, and the Italian mafia. One of the Vatican Bank presidents at the time was mentioned in the investigations, but never faced trial due to diplomatic immunity. He was quietly removed from office. Decades later, other similar episodes resurfaced. A new bank president came under investigation for irregular practices, being removed under allegations of mismanagement and involvement in shady operations. Despite promises of reforms and transparency, public trust continued to be affected. At one point, a leak of confidential documents revealed internal disputes and shady favoritism within the Holy See. The person responsible for the leak was the Pope's personal butler at the time, who stated he acted because he believed the Church had strayed from its fundamental principles. Years later, a new series of leaks revealed the misuse of donations made by faithful, used for unnecessary expenses, luxurious renovations, and high-value real estate acquisitions. These episodes show how financial control within the institution continues to be a source of controversy and distrust. Given so many secrets, it's not surprising that the Vatican has developed over the centuries a sophisticated system for obtaining and protecting information. Despite the official non-existence of an intelligence agency, there are clear indications of a consolidated network of espionage and surveillance operating discreetly. Since the Middle Ages, popes used emissaries to spy on nobles, kings, and adversaries. During periods of religious persecution, these agents identified heresies and threats to official doctrine. In modern times, the Holy See's diplomatic representatives performed functions that went far beyond diplomacy, acting as true informants to foreign courts. During the armed conflicts of the last century, the Vatican used its connections to gather strategic information. During the world conflict, there are records that the Pope at the time was informed in advance about ethnic persecutions. And even with public omission, documents indicate that secret aid actions were conducted with his knowledge. During the period of ideological tension between Western and Eastern powers, the Vatican was accused of collaborating with intelligence services to contain the advance of ideologies considered threatening in countries with a Catholic tradition. The security of the territory is also guaranteed by a peculiar military force, the Swiss Guard. Composed exclusively of citizens from the Alpine country with military training and a rigorous religious profile, this elite corps protects the pontiff and performs internal surveillance tasks. Despite the ceremonial appearance inspired by ancient costumes, the members' training is modern, including defense techniques, crowd control, and weaponry. Even with all this protection structure, scandals continue to emerge. In recent times, an investigation revealed that donations intended for charity were used to acquire a high-value property in a European capital. The episode involved businessmen, cardinals, and other members of the Vatican's high hierarchy. One of the main people involved was an influential cardinal who resigned after accusations of resource mismanagement. The episode fueled new doubts about the true destination of donations made by millions of faithful around the world. Opus Dei, a religious organization with a strong presence behind the scenes of the Holy See, is also among the controversial elements of the ecclesiastical structure. Founded on the Iberian Peninsula, it gained strength with the support of a charismatic and influential pope. Its members, known for their doctrinal rigor and placement in strategic positions, are frequently accused of exercising disproportionate influence on papal decisions. For critics, it is an organization with characteristics of parallel power, whose actions shape the direction of the Church in an opaque way. Finally, one of the most enigmatic places in the Vatican is its library. Established during the Renaissance, it houses a vast collection of manuscripts, rare books, and invaluable documents. Part of the collection is available to authorized researchers, but there is a restricted section known as the Apostolic Archive, which is a constant target of theories and speculation. It is believed that apocryphal texts, letters from historical figures, and records of decisions that changed the course of humanity are stored there. On the silent shelves of this library, protected by reinforced security, lie fragments of a millennial history where faith, power, and mystery are inextricably intertwined. Did you know these interesting facts about the Vatican? Share in the comments what surprised you the most. If you liked today's video, please support us by liking and subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to watch the video that appears on your screen now, and I'm sure you'll find it fascinating. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.